The big ugly bill is one of the biggest atrocities to the American people ever perpetrated by American government. That's my opinion, Brandon. Right here is how much Joe Biden, his child tax credit gave Americans. So under 3,600, 3,000, 16 through 6 through 17. Now, here's what it is with the big ugly bill. 2,200. Additional refundable portion remains up to about 1,700 per child. What does that mean? But the maximum child credit per child is 2,200, whereas before it was 36 or 3,000. So we have, well, both depending on age. We have a major discrepancy. Americans are being told that they're getting a better deal under Trump, and yet just this one piece of the puzzle in the BBB shows the opposite. What are you looking at in the BBB? And I want to keep working in this thread, guys. We're going to actually just break this stuff down and see what the reality is. This is this an atrocity in your eyes, or is this actually something good for the American people?
Yeah, one other number that I'm looking at on my screen, maybe you can have the AI pull it up on yours, is the change in the inheritance tax. So 2025 was 13.99 million, and they're raising it to 15 million. And it's just been going up since about 2017. I'm seeing it was about 5.5 million, 6, 7, 8 years ago. And it doesn't really make much sense to me because the reason why we have an inheritance tax is to prevent dynasties, right? Because if you just pass it down from generation to generation, at some point, if you have such a huge amount of money, it never goes away, even if you're really wasteful. But most Americans, I mean, 80%, maybe 90% don't have anywhere near $15 million or $10 million or 9 million or whatever. So who exactly is this benefiting? Who asked for this increase in the inheritance tax? I'm not really understanding that.
I've never heard anybody talk about it, nor do I think most Americans understand the consequence and impact of it. What
No,
else?
yeah. Do you ever hear about the death tax when they were trying to first raise it? And Republicans called it the death tax. And of course, in a way it is, but that's by design. But many Americans voted for it against their own interests, in my opinion.
Well, keeping things as confusing as possible
Mhm.
so that you have to actually do your own research is by design.
Mhm.
Never before. The reason why I'm using AI, and this is just ChatGPT, one of the worst of the bots at this point, just showing you how to get real information, regardless of who you're listening to or if you think it is being delusional. Oh, it's just making shit up. Chatbot's just making
Mhm.
shit up. No, there's ways to verify that so you can cross reference and triangulate information so that anything that you want to challenge, you can challenge it and get to the heart of it within, 60 to 120 seconds.
I can only hope that the chatbots get better and better because right now I was trying to look at the big beautiful bill before this video and get into the specific lines in it, but it's so inscrutable. I mean, even the bots will say this section. I'll go to the website, find the document, try and search for the section, can't find it. And then if you do get to the section says referring to this past bill, amending this past. Like, it's ridiculous the amount of time it takes to understand what the hell is going on in government. I I sort of understand why people don't know. It's a full-time job, and even then, it's extremely difficult to do it. Um, but Mark, I mean, the third thing that I want to mention is the I believe it's the diminishing or the reduction in Obamacare subsidies, right?
Mhm. So we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
Right here, if you look at my screen, just the cost of food alone is going to continue to go up, and Trump called affordability a Democratic hoax. Is this a Democratic hoax right here on my screen?
Mhm. Oh yeah, the beef prices. That's because of the four meat packers, Cargill, Tyson. I forget the other two. They sort of a quasi monopoly at this point. There needs to be an antitrust suit against them.
Mhm. The affordability conversation has been huge. Donald Trump has called affordability a Democratic hoax. Can you break down how this bill actually increases the cost of living pretty much across the board? And I would also love it if you would integrate how health insurance is likely going to triple for millions of Americans as of the first of the year. Guys, this is important to be able to not just listen to the news, listen to creators, influencers on TikTok, on YouTube. You have to be able to verify information on your own and know how to verify information on your own. This is just an example. Okay. So we have a number of things going on here. And we got before we go through any of this,
Mhm.
let's ask the question: should this bill have not been passed, would the cost of living under the old bill, under the old laws, would that have likely caused as much or more or less inflation? So what are your thoughts as you're seeing what's on my screen, and how aware do you think the average American is on what is in this bill that is directly increasing their cost of living?
Well, if this is accurate, it's not looking good. And I mean, this has been sort of the zeitgeist of our times over the last few years, ever since COVID ended. And I don't see it getting any better soon because one, people don't realize the core causes for this, and two, our our fearless leader doesn't seem to be aligned with the majority of Americans, even though he says he is. And I believe, what is it? I have a quote here from an article from it's about the fallout with Marjorie Taylor Greene with Trump, and the quote is, as she was from her conversations with her constituents, she told me she could tell that the issue of affordability was not, as Trump would term it, a con job perpetrated by Democrats. Reading construction industry newsletters, I mean, she discovered that a lot of private equity is buying up neighborhoods in Georgia and all over America, which increases the cost of living. I mean, being able to speculate on homes is something that weren't able to do in the past. And her two adult daughters informed her that their health insurance premiums would double if Green's party did not yield to the Democrats and extend the Obamacare subsidies that had been significantly expanded by the Biden administration.
Mm.
So Medicare going down really does hurt, well, the poor people and the disadvantaged. A lot of the gains in the economy, it's not shared equally among all Americans. And if anything, it may be, what's the word for it? It comes at the cost of many of the poorest of Americans.
So if you're making $100,000 a year, your cost of living is going to make living any high quality of life difficult. Let's see here. What is the average American making a year in 2025? Do you think it's 100,000 or more?
What's the average?
Mm, nope, about 83, 80, let's say 84.
I
Okay.
mean, I say the median or no, the mode might be more useful. What's the most common? I'd say probably 50,000 or 60 or less.
So 60 to 63 for the median.
Right.
So for the median American making $60,000 to $63,000 a year, and let's say their rent is between 2,000 and 2,500 a month, what are they left with at the end of each month and year? And that's
And the
not
other
feeding obviously all, specific bills, and we can break down the
right.
average cost of utilities and, things of that nature.
The other thing, Mark, is that a lot of the ultra rich don't have high incomes. I mean, have you heard about the tax-free loan where someone with a lot of shares in a company can take a loan out against their shares and not pay taxes on it.
Mhm.
And then later, as the shares appreciate over time, you can take a bigger loan to pay off the other one, and then keep avoiding taxes like that. How do we solve the problem of assets? Because if I mean, yeah, Elon Musk is one example. He doesn't really need an income. He has assets that he can use to raise funds to live on and then some. That is a
Well,
more insidious problem.
the Generation Z and Alpha are having little opportunity or chance, honestly, unless they're doing really well on TikTok Shop
Mhm.
to make enough money to buy any appreciable assets
Yep, but
like a
not
house.
everyone can be a business owner. So
Mhm.
what's the solution?
Well, with AI taking away more and more jobs, and that's something that's going to get worse and worse and worse in 2026, which is not taken into account in this at all. And if
Mhm.
we were to start integrating that by the end of 2026, the unemployment rate is it's likely at least going to be doubled. That's
Mhm.
my prediction. And there aren't enough politicians talking about the impact of that. So the minimum wage is still 7.25 an hour nationwide. That's the federal minimum wage.
Mm.
So the cost of living versus minimum wage. Remember the term living wage? I mean, that basically doesn't exist anymore at a job of virtually any kind. And that's going to be less and less because of AI, less demand for people when you can be replaced by something that might not even be as good, but very soon will be better anyway. So people are all on notice. Human beings are on notice, period. And nothing in the BBB, the big, beautiful, I'm sorry, ugly bill, even addresses that. Let's see if I'm wrong. Does anything in the big, beautiful bill actually address the impact AI is likely to have on job market and people's annual incomes? What's your guess?
Actually address the impact AI is likely to have on job market. Um,
No.
mm,
Shocking. So for the average American, the democratic hoax of affordability is going to cripple them. And that's the reality. They're not making enough money, even at 100K a year, for the average couple or family to be able to make to have anything left at the end of every month, or not need to go into credit card debt or borrow or just suffer. That's
mm.
that's that's the new American way.
You're
That's what
saying
the big beautiful bill is all about.
it's gonna
Let's
be a
just,
rude.
ask it clearly. Who does the big beautiful bill benefit the most? What median people with median incomes, higher incomes, rich? Who does it benefit the most and why? And who does it benefit the least and why? How many people do you think audit in this way or at all beyond just watching the news or their favorite influencers?
Well, that might be a good topic for a video. How to audit their news, the information they're digesting, they're seeing. How do you know, especially when they're talking about specific bills or specific actions of the DOJ? Can
We
you
have
get
the
the
ability to fact check.
right?
Every human being has the ability to fact check. You shouldn't be taking for granted what anybody says as gospel, including
Mhm.
us.
Mhm. I think that's where it's headed. You have no choice but to be your own fact checker because there's no can you trust any of the institutions, or if they are trustworthy, how long will they remain trustworthy?
Hmm. So the high income households and wealthy, so the wealthy elite, they're the ones who benefit the most. And at a time of need, that is unconscionable. And this is not trickle down economics. This is not trickling down anywhere. No more golden showers, y'all.
Mm.
Republican pervs. You love your golden showers. You love that trickle down. Upper middle class, earners and assets. All right. Dual income professionals. A lot of families can't do that. Homeowners with equity. How many people under the age of 30 are homeowners, and how many people under 30 will likely never own a home based on their low earning potential? What we thought was as America, the American dream, that's dead. That don't exist. It's gone. It's impossible. And bills like this only make it more impossible.
Mm.
Who benefited? 55 to 70K workers, renters, single earners, gig workers for medium income. But no meaningful wage lift, no wage change.
American dream's been a dream
It's sold
for a
out,
very
dude.
long time.
This is all, Trump, like when they were talking, he was in the Oval Office pointing out his billionaire friends, how this billionaire made this much, this one made this much off of his policies.
Mm-hmm.
So if his policies, Trump, if his policies are making the rich elite that much richer and that much more elite, what is this country going to become? I mean, what is it already? Obviously, this is not America. Who's fighting for that? How is that America first? It's not. It's rich people first. Has nothing to do with America, Americans, American way of life, American dream. None of it. Guys, you need to be questioning everything. If you're not, look at this. 1 in 4 under 30 will be able to buy a house. That's historic low percentages.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's out of the question. It's not even in the realm of possibility.
And again, this is not even taking into account AI, which is going to flip this shit.
Yeah, it sounds like, I mean, you're saying that even AI is going to be a rude awakening for a lot of white collar jobs as well.
Just like ravishing Rick Rude. What I like to have right now are all the fat, ugly, out of shape Republicans. Keep the noise down while I take my shirt off and show the ladies what a real independent, sexy man looks like.
Where the hell did that come from?
Ravishing Rick Rude.
Ravishing Rick.
I'm obviously changing a few of the words that he would have used.
Yeah, I imagine.
So, guys, we're going to end it there. You need to audit the big, beautiful bill on your own. And then you need to start writing your local politicians, your senators, and your president, and ask them why they are trying so hard to make your life harder. And demand a president, demand a government that is actually working with us, helping us, acknowledging the hardships that we are going through and are about to endure that are unprecedented. And there's not anybody talking about it. Fucking pussies. Fucking pussies. What do you think?
I think that is the way, but yeah,
and you have to
do and you have to do it better, because the rich always have had an advantage because there's fewer of them to coordinate with each other. It's always been the many's disadvantage to have to, what is it like? What's that phrase when you say you're trying to herd cats, right? But that's what needs to be done. That's what has to happen. But in order to do that, you have to be Well, you have to understand what the hell's going on, and that takes time. And
Right,
hopefully AI
right
can get in
here,
the way.
right here
Yeah.
is how your power has been taken away and how you
Mm.
can get your power back. First of all, this is not federal income. There's no such thing as true American currency. This is owned by a central bank, owned by rich families, started in 19, what was it, 12, 13? I forget. We'll have to do a video on this.
Mhm. Oh, yeah,
The
Federal Reserve
Federal
around that.
Reserve, the government, your United States government, then borrows money from the reserve. So this is debt.
Mhm.
Every dollar, every dime, I don't think we have cents anymore, is debt,
No.
and it's owned by the rich elite, the richest of the rich. And then there's the good side of this shit. Where you spend this is a declaration of what you want to see more of in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. That's what this is. Is it convenient to demonstrate what you want to see more of in the world? Not
Mhm.
necessarily. Does that mean that you get to complain and bitch and moan when you do not take the time to understand what bills are being passed and what the impact is on your life, or what this shit really is and what you want to see more of, and therefore put this shit there? Can't do that. I'm sorry, you can't complain. You're just a
Mhm.
bitch. So let's educate ourselves. We
Mm.
have all the tools, unprecedented levels of awareness never before seen in this human reality, in this human civilization, this human existence, in this human coexistence. This is embarrassing.
Damn, Mark. Write that down, make it a speech.
We'll see you next time.